Hello all happy YouTubers. Today I'm gonna show you my smoothwall setup, and yeah, this is my smoothwall machine. You can't see much of it because it's black and the room is fucking dark, so I'll try to open it up and use my handy dandy flashlight to show you something. You got a fan down here that's spinning, and LED from the bottom and up is the, let's see here, system LED, fan fail, HDD, and power. I don't know what the difference between system and power is because they do the same thing. There you can see. It doesn't read much from the hard drive because it's running a router software. That's because I've got the network hub on top of it. It might be a switch. Yeah, it's a switch, not a hub. Sorry. And that has a custom made power cord that uses the power that comes out from the Mulex plug on the back of the system. So I don't need an extra power cord and a power block for that. So if I open this up with one hand, I'll show you the insides of this machine. I have a gigabit card on top and a 100 megabit card on the bottom. The top one is for my local network and the bottom one is DMZ. It's basically for servers and shit. I got no graphics card in this computer, like you can probably see. Silencer for the hard drive to make it silent. And here we got a fan alarm. It works really good. I will stop a fan and listen. It screams as a fan stops. It's set to run on all fans, and this one is running pretty slow, but it's working. On the back of the system I have some cable management going on here. I try to hold the camera. Here, the network card. The network card I use for the uplink is this one on the motherboard, 1 gigabit. So basically all my local computers are set to run at 1 gigabit, and the server are set to run at 100 megabits. And that's convenient since I've got 100 megabits in my wall over there. I also expanded it to 768 megs of RAM. It's running an Intel Pentium 4 mobile CPU from a laptop on, 1.8 gigahertz. The CPU is originally at 2.0 gigahertz, but I did a little underclocking to get the heat down, to run the fan slower, to get the noise down. This machine is much more quiet than a regular computer. The fans run really slow, as you can maybe tell. I don't know how fast the camera is, but maybe you can tell. And I'm gonna install some fan alarms on the motherboard so it shuts down if a fan fails. It's also a dual fan power supply, so I don't need to worry too much about a fan fail over there. Well, that's it for me showing off this machine. I will attempt to show off the interface. Let's launch it here. An Internet Explorer. And then we will open this. And I will attempt to enter the password and username while one-handed. So, we're in. Like we go to status and advanced, and we can see it's using 6% of the RAM, 0% of the swap file, 31% of the boot drive, I only got one hard drive, so I don't know what it means. Average load is 0, so that's good. I guess it's good. So, traffic graphs. This is a more interesting tab. Here you can see the traffic. I've been testing this out yesterday and today, and it seems to work fairly fine. Traffic bars. These are interesting to look at because they jump up and down, showing the net speed of the router. I've got some torrents going on down here in the bottom corner, going real slow because no one wants it and I'm trying to seed it. So yeah, here is a graph for the network cards in real time, all the cards I think that are in use and all the IPs that are using them. So I can see if a particular computer is using up a lot of bandwidth, like for say 192.168.1.2 is using up not a lot of speed, but you might say 1.3 is using up a whole lot of speed. Then you might be able to spot that in an early stage. And over here we basically got the normal settings. You can bind an IP address, so that MAC address on the network card always gets the same IP address. That's very handy when you run a server like me. And I don't know what that beep was in the background, but yeah, this was something. So I run a server, you know that because you've seen my previous videos. I run a Dell PowerEdge 4400 with about 2 to 3 terabytes of space, not gigabytes, terabytes. If it was 2 to 3 gigabytes, I'd be screaming. So, to show off the port forwarding, this is basically how you enter the ports over here. You user define. Here you have a lot of things like telnet, you got HACS or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it. You got HTTP and a lot of stuff. So it's a fairly advanced firewall for those who want a fairly advanced firewall and don't want to pay like 2,000 kronor or something to buy a router. These routers are cheaper, but they aren't as fast. They do only about, what can they do? 60 megabits, and this one does 1,000 megabits with no problem. It can probably do even more if I get more cards in it. And it runs quiet, it doesn't need a screen, doesn't need keyboard, doesn't need nothing. It's just 2 network plugs and then you're off to the races. It also got a shell interface. I will try to show that before the time runs out. I'll try to enter the password and stuff. I don't actually know how to use the shell, but it got the shell, so I can remote control the computer with no problem at all. And this computer build cost me 1,300 kronor, and all that money went into this cage. So all the parts inside I've got for free. I didn't pay a dime for it. So I'm basically very happy with this computer, and it will be my new router. It uses about 85 watts of power without a graphics card and without sound cards and shit like that. So 85 watts for 1000 megabits compared to 30 watts for 60 megabits. You get a pretty good deal with this computer. Or server, whatever you want to call it. I call it a router. It's a router, but it's basically a computer. I don't know how to define it, but you get the idea. Thank you, YouTube, and please subscribe to my videos. Bye.